See, what they don't know is they're tuning in to DBYT Podcast. My name is Taisha Hines, and this is my show where I'll explore the ins and outs of the world around me. You can tune in every Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. What's up, everybody? We have made it to the end of season 2. So for this final episode for the season, we have decided to bring back Michaela, who was a guest earlier this season. Please check out her 6-minute podcast episode on her Kicking It with K-Rod page on Instagram to be fully checked in about the topics of this finale. With that being said, let's get into it. Welcome back to DBYT, everybody. I'm your host, Taisha, and today we had the opportunity to get on the air with Kicking It with K-Rod's very own Michaela. So she posted a video on her account recently on the topic of consistency in her life.
I think the root of my problem with consistency is just started with how I grew up. To be honest, like, I never was a structural child, or I never grew up in a structural household. I had bedtimes, but not like the average 8:30 you in bed. No, I didn't have that. I have when to get in bed, go to sleep. But me, because my sleep is not the best, I stayed up watching George Lopez. And I would wake up, go to school, be sleepy throughout the day sometimes, and come home, take a nap, or I'll eat, take a nap, do my homework, do the same thing all over again.
So this episode, we're going to dig a little deeper into that. The true question is, how do you become more consistent? I'm here to hopefully give a little insight on how to do that. So, how you doing, Michaela?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. Just living life, just trying to get by.
Post-grad life.
Girl, the post-grad life is crazy. I don't know. I mean, it's weird because, like, I don't have, like, something to actually, like, do, like, as far as schoolwork. Like, we've been in school our whole lives. So it's like, now it's just kind of weird just to have it stop.
Literally, somebody asked me that the other day. They was like, how do you feel since you've been out of school? And I was like, to be honest, like, it hasn't registered me. But that was like, I mean, you're not doing schoolwork. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm not doing academic work, turning in papers for grades. It's weird because, like, what do we do now? What's next?
I guess we gotta get a family. I don't know. Gotta move out. I don't know.
Not even a job, but a family. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we're just gonna speed past that. We're gonna speed past that. We went to school to get a family. That's what we did.
Perfect. Find a rich man. Period.
Yeah, Periana, Pooh, and that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb, because that's what we really here for, not just
Young.
But okay, we're going to dive into the first question. So it's being honest with yourself. How do you see yourself as a person?
Honestly, I was talking to my friend the other day, and I was asking her, like, I don't feel like I've grown much as a person. But she was like, Michaela, yes, you have. Just because you're not doing what I'm doing, that doesn't mean you haven't grown much as a person. And I was like, yeah, you're right, because I feel like, I was like, I don't know, what have I accomplished? She's like, Michaela, you literally got your bachelor's degree in May. What are you talking about? You got your associates, you finished high school, you have your own podcast. And I was just like, I don't know, because I'm still staying at home with my parents. It doesn't feel like I've done much,
Okay. So is it like a specific time that you don't feel like you've accomplished anything in your life? Or is it like just the entirety of your life? You just feel like you just been getting by or something?
Yes, the second answer. The second thing.
Okay. I did hear you say that you feel unaccomplished because the fact that you still live with your parents. But you do have to realize that most of us still do live with our parents. Like, have you seen the housing market?
I know. I heard it's very expensive to get an apartment.
I'm living with my mom and them too, but they have houses going for $300,000, starting prices. And then they build in like all these senior citizen homes where now the 20-year-old, that age group, we don't have nothing. So it's like, it's too expensive to move out on our own for real. So even if you did move out, you got to get something, you got to have help. And it's like, me personally, I'd rather help my mom and my dad like pay bills instead of like giving all my money to a landlord. You know what I mean?
Okay, yes, absolutely.
But for real, like looking at it, I don't think you are a failure just because you still are at home, because honestly, we all are. And it's a different time from when our parents was coming up. Like, I know my mom, she had a house by like 21, 22. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, obviously with, I'm probably gonna butcher this, but infatuations? No, infatuations. I can't remember the word.
Wait, you talking for the housing market, like the prices and how they fluctuate?
Yes, inflation.
Inflation. Oh yeah, the housing market has, you know, the economy deals with inflation. Yes. Both of us got it wrong.
Girl, I'm over here like, oh, what's the word? But it's very much a different time for us, and plus, like for the majority of us who do go to school, we're paying from like loans and everything, because not everybody got a scholarship and not everybody kept their scholarship from when they first got in there. So I mean, it's different. I can say that.
And then another thing, like me living at home with my parents, when I lived in Valdosta, I had my own apartment, so to say, for a year besides roommates, whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's just like coming back home, it's like, this doesn't feel like my space. Like, yeah, I lived here my whole life, but going for something that's completely yours to your parents, it's not the same feeling. To me, it's not, at least. And it don't even got nothing to do with freedom, because my parents don't get on my nerves. I'm grown, pretty much. Nonetheless, I'm grown. So they don't get on my nerves in a way in which some parents do. Because I remember seeing all the time people like, oh, I don't want to go back home from college. My parents get on my nerves. I ain't never dealt with that. But it's just, I miss my own space. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I do feel you on that. The freedom to like, well, you know, my circumstances, I didn't have my car down there, so I couldn't move the way I wanted to. So it's like being home versus being in Valdosta, it was like I had to depend on a lot more people compared to here. And that's what I like. Part of me didn't like Valdosta because I couldn't like move the way I wanted to, or I feel like I'm bothering people because it's like, oh, well, can I go here with you? Or can I go to the store with you? Or, you know, like asking stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, I feel like a loser. Like, I don't like this.
Yeah, I understand that feeling too. Nobody like asking people for rides.
Yeah.
It's just like, because you feel like you getting in other people's way or bothering other people.
Exactly. And if people know me, I hate feeling like I'm like interfering with somebody's plans, like getting in their way. And it's just, I don't know. I don't like that.
Okay. Can I revert back to the original question? I just thought about something.
Of course.
You asked, how do I feel about myself? To be honest, Ty, like I thought this a long time ago. I like me as a person. Like, I love me. I feel like I'm funny. I get along great with people. And I just love me. Yes, you know, I don't feel like everybody like themselves, but I like me. I'm not saying I'm perfect by any means, but I like who I am as a person.
And honestly, that's good though, because of the fact that you realizing that, hey, I have to see myself and I have to be with myself 24/7, regardless of the situation. You have to live with yourself, because some people can't look at themselves in the mirror. Some people hate the way they sound. Some people hate the way they act. Like, it's great to have a great like self-esteem anyway, just because like we're literally always with ourselves.
Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I don't get on my nerves, because sometimes I do get on my own nerves, and there are things that I want to work on to become a better person. But overall, I like me, and I like that people like me, or I think people like me.
Well, if it helps, I like you. That's why I talk to you.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
Oh my gosh, don't. How did you feel about your education?
So I feel like when I was in high school, I realized this the other day. You ever have one of them days where you just sit back and reflect? I had a day where I reflected, and I was like, in high school, I really struggled academically. Like, my grades were from like A's and C's, A, B, and C's. Like, that was the range. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dang, I feel like I worked really hard in high school to become, or to be, quote unquote, average. And this was before the pandemic. It wasn't easy to cheat. And I didn't cheat because I was scared to cheat for the most part in high school. Even at my old school, Gordon, before I transferred off I don't even remember much. I mean, I do remember stuff from there. It was nice. It was cool, I guess. I don't really... Now in Valdosta, when I first got there, it was like regular education. I do wish that the mass media program did more with the program. We can talk about that a different day, however you want to go about it. You can say what you want to say about the program, but I do wish that we had more division. Like, not divisions, more branches, and not just everything. Am I making sense? Everything put together into one.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's people who want to produce. They know what they want to do. There's people who want to go into writing. There's people who want to be on screen. They don't have...
So you want like concentrations more so?
Concentration, exactly. Okay. Exactly. That's what I feel like the program should have had. But then came the pandemic. So I feel like I skated. Not even gonna lie to you. And part of the reason was because we was online. And these teachers, they didn't make it no easier at all. There was one professor in particular where we did absolutely nothing in his class, and I did not learn
at all.
That cost me later on down the road whenever we started coming back into class, in person in class.
Yeah,
I ended with a 3.0.
Congratulations.
So, I was proud of myself for doing.
As
and I'm in the dean's list. I was like, wow, I did that. Somebody coming from like a 2.8, I got a 3.0 and made the dean's list. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's good, man. Like, and I will say, I wanted to comment on the teacher situation. I honestly, like, it's cool when you have easy teachers, especially when you got a load. But at the same time, like you say, we're paying for the education. We there for a reason. If we don't get it here, we are not going to get it because of the fact that a lot of people don't even want you in the industry if you don't have experience. So the only thing we really banking on is this bachelor's degree. And if y'all can't do y'all job and give us what we need to be successful in the field, it's like we already being set up for failure. Like, and then on top of that, me and you, we Black. On top of that, we women. So it's like, it's doubled down on us because they already don't want us there from the get start, like just looking at us. So I really do feel like they need to do some more, like a deeper teacher evaluation, more so like have the dean come and sit in these classes and stuff like at random to see like what do these people have actually planned for us and not just what they're telling them on the opposite end of that. I think that will help because when them SOIs came out, oh, your girl, I don't hold back. I was letting it go. I was like, if y'all get in trouble for this, it ain't got nothing to do with me. It is what it is. No hard feelings at the end of the day. And what else? I was talking to somebody, I can't remember who it was, but she was telling me she was scared to even like correct her professors because she felt like they'll fail her if she did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like...
Her major?
No, she actually went to a different university.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's like, it gets to a point where you kind of forget that you're an adult and that you can report these teachers if they're, mistreating you, like for real, especially if it's your grade, because we need those grades, especially we doing what we got to do. But you're mad at us because you don't want to be corrected in front of people. And I know a couple of teachers that just need to honestly be replaced at Valdosta State University. But
absolutely.
We ain't gonna get into that. While you were at school, like, did you enjoy like showing up to classes and stuff?
If I was interested in the topic, there was the class that we had together online. What was it?
Media Crit.
Media Crit, and then the one before, you didn't take that one with me, but the same professor, different class. I enjoyed those classes because the topic to me was interesting. Even at my old school in Gordon, if I liked the topic, I was interested. Mm-hmm. I do feel like there was a class in particular that I would have been way more interested in had it not been online. That was law and ethics. I was like, if we did this in person, I feel like I would be so like tuned in to the class and the professor. I was never the type to not show up. I even showed up in person when it wasn't my days to come.
I feel that.
Like, to me, it was hard working online, especially with our major and doing computer work and then having to pay attention on the laptop. But Ty, you was there. You remember I was struggling? Please.
Yo. Yes. I mean, it was okay. On my end, for the most part, like even when teachers give me material, I have to look into it myself for like deeper understanding, because a lot of times I feel like I might not get it on the first time, or it just doesn't make sense. And it's like, Ty, you gotta go find what you need so you can, still be successful. Because me, I don't like depending on the teacher to basically try to spoon feed me, because if they do, they're gonna slow up the lesson and be like, we're missing material because of that, or I'm just not gonna understand, and they're gonna waste their time trying to explain. So it was me being online, it was okay for me, because I self-teach myself all the time. So it wasn't like, dang, COVID. It was like, dang, COVID for the interest level, because girl, I'm telling you, it was some days I didn't even want to show up like on the computer. I'd be in bed and I'd be just so mad for like that hour, that 50 minutes or whatever. I'd just be like, I can't wait till this is over.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I was in bed with my laptop, closed it when class is over, and turned everyone to sleep.
Okay. So from your video, you had spoke on like your health and like a gym membership. How is that going for you?
Okay, so to be honest, because my friend, she invited me to go somewhere at 5:00, and we had this podcast at 3, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna go today. And I didn't go yesterday, so I was like, if I don't go today and yesterday, I didn't go yesterday, then that means I will have to go, what's tomorrow, Tuesday or Wednesday?
Girl,
Tomorrow is
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay, so that means after Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, because I didn't go Monday and today. But it's going good. Ever since I started, I went at least 3-4 times a week so far. Mm-hmm. I will say, honestly, I've been slacking on the eating habits versus when I first started.
So how do you plan on doing better in that area that you're lacking in?
When I first started, I was like, good. And I said I was going to stop eating at a certain time and I was going to drink water. But instead of drinking only water, I would say I would limit myself on how many drinks I could drink like throughout the week.
Yeah.
And eating, I really do need to buckle down on stop eating after like 8:00.
Okay, so have you ever looked into intermediate fasting?
No, I recently heard of that term actually.
I used to do it before I was a diabetic. Like I could afford to do it, but I can't do it anymore. But basically, you stop eating for like 12 to 14 hours, just similar to what you're doing. Like, do you have a start time to when you eat, or like a time period?
No, because I don't have a set schedule like throughout my day right now, so I don't.
It helps curb my appetite when I was doing it. So eventually, you start eating less, your stomach shrinks and everything, especially when it's combined with like exercising and, eating healthy and all that good stuff. It's a good combination if you like to do that, or if you want to try that. Also, I heard that you said you lack structure in your life. Where is that coming from?
Not having a job, honestly, or not having consistency, not being consistent. I think it really stems from a job, because when I was in school, my life was somewhat consistent. Like during the pandemic, I would go to class, probably eat, take a nap, and then I'll be in the computer room until they close. Not the computer room, the computer lab until they close. Wake up the next day, do it all over again. And then before the pandemic happened, I had class, wake up in the morning, go to my classes, socialize, do my homework. That was somewhat structure for me, even high school. Structure, but I honestly feel like right now it's coming from not having a job.
Where do you want to work? Like, where do you want to end up at the end of the day?
I want to do entertainment broadcasting, and my ultimate goal, if they still exist, I would like to have my own TV show.
She said if they still exist.
Listen, we in a new age now, coming in a new age, so we don't see Oprah on TV like we did growing up.
Do you believe that people are set in their ways?
Absolutely, they can be. But I feel like with our generation, we're getting out of that. I feel like our generation is way more open to not being set in their ways versus the older generations.
Okay, so using your words, are you basically saying we like kind of like a growth generation compared to like a fixed one?
Absolutely.
What do you make sure that you do every day that ensures that you're progressing to the lifestyle that you want to live in the future?
Well, recently, I've been trying to be consistent and off of social media. I deleted Instagram and TikTok for about a week. And I was on Twitter, so I was like, this is not helping either, because if I delete those and I went on this, and I deleted Twitter last night. So I was like, throughout the day, I was like, damn, I deleted those apps. I can't go on them. And I was like, you know what? Social media is not really what I should be doing. So,
but isn't your hold on. But isn't your platform on social media?
Yes, I deleted it for myself, and here's why. Because at nighttime, I said I wanted to create a routine to read at night and not get on social media more.
Oh, we have an educated woman. Okay, she trying to expand. I feel that.
Look, let me tell y'all what book I'm reading. I'm going to promote my good sis. So, the book I'm reading right now is called Small Doses, Potent Truths for Everyday Use by Amanda Seales. Get into her, please. Okay. So I was like, I've been reading this book for too damn long. I need to not hurry up and finish it, but I need to finish it because it has good stuff in there. And I just want to read at night versus getting on social media. Yeah, I realized it was consuming too much of my time. So I did it to like kind of not train myself, but train myself in a way to stay off social media at nighttime. I think that's it, or that I can think of right now.
Okay, and that's cool. And I like the fact that you talked about training yourself, because that is something we are going to get into a little later. But just for right now, creating habits is a great thing to do, just because once you start doing it, it becomes, effortless, and you won't have to look at it like, oh, I gotta read, oh, I gotta go to the gym. It'd be like second hand or second nature to you,
Exactly. And I still haven't got to that point yet. So that means I need to keep going.
Exactly. And as long as you working on it, you are working on being more consistent, and that's your goal. I think at least that's what I got from your video, because you did speak on a number of things while you were on your show, Kicking It with K-Rob. And here's what she had to say.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Kicking It with K-Rob. I know it's been a minute because I have not been consistent, and that is what today's episode is about. I don't have any special guests. I wanted to do this episode by myself because it's a moment for me to be vulnerable and open up to you guys about consistency and what it means and how I am going to get better at it. So what made me think about this topic was, I was like, I've never seen any results when it comes to my body and how I want to look. So I was like, let me go get a gym membership. I did that like a few days ago. And I was like, well, if I'm going to spend money on it, then hopefully I'm going to be consistent with, going to the gym. So it made me realize, like, Michaela, you're not consistent with anything besides eating and sleeping and whatever else, living. That's the only thing I'm consistent with. And it made me wonder, like, why is that? Why am I not a consistent person?
Why do you think you don't see any results when it comes to the goals that you set for yourself in reference to your video?
It's literally because I'm not consistent. That's literally the answer, because I was not or am not consistent with those things. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's really that simple.
So do you think you have a consistency problem?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So there was this podcast that I listened to, and the title was, you don't have a consistency problem, you have a commitment problem. So do you think that the things that you're setting off to do are you putting too much on yourself at one time, the reason why you can't dedicate to those things? Or what do you think the issue is?
With me personally, I think the issue is laziness and forgetfulness. And I say laziness because I'm like, oh, I don't feel like going to the gym. Oh my God, no, I'm not going. And forgetfulness because I will literally forget that I'm supposed to be being consistent in something.
I feel like I can really help in both of those areas for you, because literally, because right now what you're telling us is that you feel lazy in the physical aspect, and I think that do you have, I don't know, some people have body goals. Do you have like a vision board or anything of how you want to look or what you want to look like in the future?
I did have a vision board. I have one I created years ago, and I have one I created about 2 years ago. I never did finish that one. But yes, my body goal is Ashanti.
Oh, okay. All right. Miss Thang. Okay.
or something similar to it. However, my body come out. You know?
Yeah, I feel it. Aim for the stars. I'm trying to look like Beyonce because I mean, when she was this age, she was skinny too, and now baby got a booty. So you know,
exactly.
I'm trying to do that one day. So, what are some other things on your vision board, if you don't mind me asking?
I know one of them was being more assertive because I don't speak my mind with a lot of things when things bother me at the moment. And I had Gabrielle Union for that because I feel like she is somebody who embodies speaking her truth. Money, of course, saving money, eating right, eating properly. I can't remember the time.
Me personally, I'm a writer. So I really like to write. I have 2 whiteboards in my room. I have a planner and I use my Google Calendar. Like I literally put everything in that. And I think that will help you with your forgetfulness because if you use your phone, you always have notifications that you can set for things that you need to do. If you have whiteboards in your room, every time you go in your room, you're going to see it. It's natural for us to just look at it. With me, I love to like check things off my list because it makes me feel like I'm accomplishing things and everything. And I think that could help you out too. And I know I probably do the most because I have like 4 or 5 different ways of making sure like, hey, make sure you get this done. Make sure you do this. Make sure you do that. But that's just me because I'm crazy. So, yeah. Who do you often find yourself taking advice from?
My friends. But to be honest, like, I don't ask for much advice if it doesn't pertain to like entertainment. And by entertainment, I mean boys, like, because that's funny to me.
Okay. But
when it comes to real life events, I don't really ask much for advice.
And why do you think you don't?
Because I just like to see stuff get done versus letting people know what I might have in plan.
Mm-hmm.
I've recently connected with or networked with my old advisor from Gordon, which is a school I transferred from. I still keep in contact with her, and she introduced me to somebody who is in the business, quote unquote, you know. So me and her, we had a talk the other day. So I would take advice from her. I listened to her. And recently, I got in contact with a news reporter. She's from North Carolina. And so I would definitely take advice from those type of people because they've been in my shoes or, you know, could offer some type of advice. Right. But at the end of the day, my journey is my journey and their journey is their journey.
Your advisor from Gordon, is she more like a mentor to you or like how is that relationship?
Yes, she is. But not like in the business aspect, but just like a friend, I guess you could say.
Okay. And also I wanted to comment on, you said that basically their journey is their journey, your journey is your journey. Do you believe that people can get successful independently?
Like 100% by themselves?
Well, or even majority by themselves. How do you feel about that?
It's like if I say yes, like I don't feel like we do anything 100% by ourselves because we talk to people every day. We learn from people every day. If you're talking to somebody, you are learning.
Definitely. I agree with that.
I would say no, whether you realize it or not, you're learning. Yeah. So I would say no.
When I took a psychology course when we were in college, I learned that as well. Like America, or even Americans rather, are like heavily built on I'm independent, I can do it by myself, like very self-sufficient in a way. And it's like you just said, we can't do this type of thing alone. Like, for example, my podcast, I couldn't have conversations without people. I couldn't get other people's perspective without other people. So for me to be successful, I have to reach out, or I have to invite the energy of other people coming to me with their ideas, or them being like, oh, can I be on your show? Can I do this? Can I do that? Because that's what's going to make me successful at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I honestly believe that no matter what, it's a group effort, because without the other end of it, you can't do it. Even if you start a business, if you have no customers, you have no business.
Exactly.
If you a teacher and you ain't got no students, what you doing? If you're a guidance counselor but nobody to talk to, what are you doing? You know, it's really a service type of thing. When you look at it, it's like, what can I provide for people?
I would say though, I do ask my friends and people I talk to on a daily just about I talk to them, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily advice because I don't go out seeking advice. It's just conversation to me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because over time, once you start talking to people like for real, and they like see your passions and everything, it's like you can't help but to like be connected to them.
But I will have to trust them because I don't believe in opening my mouth about my goals to everybody.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. Whether it's short term or long term.
Yeah. Oh, does that mean you trust me?
Yeah, and I know people listen and think, well, she just told me what she want to do, but that's just part of it.
Yeah, I definitely get that because behind closed doors, we have deeper conversations, so it's all good.
Exactly.
So, going into my next question, do you do things based on emotion or logic?
I would say logic. I'm a very logical person. Not saying emotion doesn't get involved, but overall, I believe I'm a logical person.
I do as well. I'm not very emotionally driven towards things. It has to make sense to me. like literally, that's what I have to see. Emotion could probably be filled like on the inside. Like think of it like an Easter egg. Like you see the pink color on the outside, that's the logic, but the candy on the inside is like the sweet emotional part. No, it just came in my head, so I had to say it.
Oh, cut it out. It's making sense. It's coming together. Okay. But I will say though, like I be wanting to react or do things with emotion, but the logic just won't let me sometimes.
And that's what's up. Like I honestly believe logic over emotion. Like it has to add up first before you put your feelings into that, because
absolutely.
It's just like a relationship. I think I talked about this on another episode where just because you love something or love somebody doesn't mean you should be with them or should have that item or whatever, just because like it may not be the best thing for you. And you have to see that before you try to get emotionally involved, because emotions are how you do some stupid stuff. For real.
It will. And I wish a lot more people thought with logic. But I will say there's instances where it's okay to think with emotions.
Yeah. It honestly depends on the circumstance. I will say that. I will agree with you with that. While listening to you, I also took note on how you spoke on relationships and and what your partner had to do in order to be with you. And here's what she had to say about it.
And even in relationships, like that's the only time it's gonna work out if somebody's consistent with me. I don't know how y'all roll, but if we don't communicate every day, my attention span is gone. It's no longer existing. And I don't see how some people, go like that, but not me. I'm not one of the people. You don't talk to me for a day or two, you're done. But that's just me.
And we back. So, why does your partner have to be consistent?
Okay, I don't necessarily mean partner. I mean like in the beginning of getting to know me, because if you're not consistent, then you are losing my attention. If you go every other day without talking to me, I don't want to talk to you no more.
So in retrospect, you just want them to communicate with you on a consistent basis?
Absolutely. I can't think what's something that people do in relationships that's consistent, because I want a spontaneous partner.
So you want them to be consistently spontaneous?
Exactly.
I love it. Okay. Because I used this term before. I love it.
I was talking about like I said, in the getting to know me stages, you not finna just talk to me when you want to. And I actually had somebody, as a matter of factly, text me last night, and I haven't heard from that person in like 2 weeks. And I was just like, who are you? Like, literally, who are you? And why are you texting me? And I haven't gotten a text today. So that means I'm going to delete this number, and I hope they never text me. Well, actually, I want them to text me so I can leave them on red.
Wow. Okay. All right.
What are you doing? You're not going to text me every other day. Like, this is not what this phone number is for.
Oh, Lord, that's another conversation. I ain't even... But my reason for asking about your partner's consistency is really looping back to your consistency, and because you say that you have an issue with it. So is it fair to your partner if you have a consistency issue, as you stated before, and them having one as well? What if they have one just like you?
Is it a personal consistency or is it a relationship consistency? Because I feel like I have a personal consistency.
So you're consistent when it comes to talking to men?
People, not men, just people.
Oh, I was finna say Michaela.
No. People in general. I talk to my friends every other day. Like,
Okay.
you know, that's consistent. I talk to my parents. I talk to my family every day or every other day. That's just communication. And men, if someone trying to get to know me, we're gonna text or talk on the phone every day.
Okay.
Get it?
So with that, I see that you're placing these are like more close-knit relationships that you have with people. So are you holding people to a more important standard? The reason why you can be more consistent with them?
Versus
pertaining to your video, how at first, because I listened to it a couple times, and like the health part, you told them that you were consistent in school because you felt like you had to. So like, is it the things that you hold important that you feel like you can be more consistent with?
it could be because it involves other people, and my personal goal, like that doesn't involve no one else but me.
Great.
So that's a great observation. You may be onto something.
Hey man, I'm just here to help. I'm just trying to get to the root of the issue, because like when I saw it, it really like touched my heart, because it was like it's cool that you opened up like that, because you didn't have to. And as creators, we never have to like fully be vulnerable enough to be like, hey guys, I'm struggling, I need help. And I like that you did that. So I was like, you know, I want to help her in whatever way I can, because that's my friend. And I didn't know that she was struggling with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy that you said that, because I was saying, you know what? I'm not going to talk about my personal issues on the show. I may talk about things I went through, but I'm not going to talk about no issues I went through. And I just decided to do that because I was like, one day, Michaela, you're going to be in front of people and you're going to have to relate. In order to relate, you have to be vulnerable. And I was like, that's a big step, because these talk shows, sometimes they share their experiences, like Tyra Banks. She shared what she went through with the weight issues in the industry and not, and being Black. And I was like, at some point, you're going to have to be vulnerable. And I guess that was just a step of me being vulnerable and opening up.
Yeah, because like definitely me, I'm mostly I'm big on privacy, and I don't like talking about none of my issues or nothing. But when it came to like helping you guys and stuff, it's like I have to. It's like a greater good, because literally what I'm struggling with or my story could literally help somebody else blossom. So it's like I'm sacrificing a little privacy for somebody finding themselves, or them noticing like, hey, I'm not the only one out here who doing like struggling for real. Anyways, reeling it back in. All right. So there's been some conversations that I've been having with a couple of my female friends, and I have some that are going through some trials and tribulations in their romantic relationships, where some of them are like kind of giving up on their partner because either they're not being satisfied, or they're not being fulfilled, or they just are really going through a hard patch where they are just wanting to be by themselves type thing. So I wanted to ask you, how important is it to you to establish a romantic relationship in your 20s?
I am a person who, I guess you could say I would feel like I would like a relationship, but I wouldn't know that because I've honestly never been in one. So I don't really know. But I'm a romance person. I like romance. I would like to have a person.
How many times you don't watch Love and Basketball? Exactly.
Too many times. Love Jones too. Love Jones too. Oh yeah, I was saying it's not important, just depends on who the person is. I like romance, so I feel kind of empty in that department because I haven't been in a relationship. So yeah.
Hey, I say manifest it, girl. If that's what you want, you better speak into it, and you better, when you speak specifically, because the world gonna give you what you want.
Do we need men? No.
Do we need them?
Then get them.
I can't live without them.
Well, listen. Okay, you know what? That's a different topic.
Different topic for a different day. Stop trying to embarrass me. Stop it. Do we need men? Yeah. Hey.
You're right. We do need them because who's gonna carry my stuff? Who's gonna build my furniture? Who's gonna pump my gas? Who's gonna give me money? You're right. We do need them.
Baby, who's gonna carry me? Like, what's up?
Who's gonna carry me? Exactly. Who's gonna support me?
You feel me?
Who's gonna change my tire? Look, they gonna think I'm being a feminist now.
And we don't care about what nobody's talking about. We don't care. They can think what they want to, but honestly, we here to speak our mind and speak our truth. So at the end of the day, if they don't like it, they can click off. It don't matter. My next question to you, Michaela, is where is your time going and is it meaningful?
Right now, I don't know, this is kind of indirect, but I've been noticing for the past week and a half, I've been taking naps. So throughout the day, my time is going to sleep. I don't know where that came from, Ty, but ever since graduation, I haven't taken naps throughout the summer. I've been good on the road. But now that I'm at home and I start watching TV, I go to sleep. And I'm like, why am I dozing off for 30 minutes to an hour? Even though it's a small time, I'm like, where's this coming from? I don't know. But my time is honestly going to, I would say nowhere, to be honest, unless my friends or somebody ask me to do something or if they need me for something, I'll go, and do what they're doing. But
do you want to change that?
Absolutely. At this moment, I would say nowhere, but it's not going to be like that forever. I do know that because no.
Yes, ma'am. I hear you loud and clear. So, speaking on your friends, are the people in your circle adding value to your progress?
Yes.
Okay. And what qualities do your friends carry?
Motivation. They're motivational people. They're people I can confide in when I'm having issues. They are supportive. They are trustworthy. They're funny because I need entertainment because life would be a drag without them.
That's what I like to hear. I'm glad that they do. And yeah, I mean, that's probably the shortest answer you're gonna get from me today. I really do like the fact that your people are there to help make life easier for you. That was my last question, but I do have a few advice points for you that I came up with myself, just, to help out. First of all, I want you to know that I'm always here. So if you ever need something or want to talk or so have you, I'm here.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it.
Of course. I mean, that's a given. You were a very sweet person to me. So in return, I would like to be sweet back to you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I wrote this down. Don't jump to the end of the book without reading everything before that point. And basically what I mean is it's okay to have a progress, even if it's baby steps. And I think that you are, from what you told me today, I think you are moving in a positive direction, especially when you told me that you're starting to read more and starting to limit yourself and take control of your life, just so you can create that foundation of consistency. So yeah, I like that. I do, not for me, I don't want you to do it for me, but I do suggest that you start working on creating a routine or a schedule for yourself, just to create that structure that you were looking for. I spoke on this earlier about creating lists and tasks to do. And I think that will help organize your day. And lastly, with your time, I just actually came up with this now, but creative projects. If you feel, because I know the feeling of feeling what do I do now that I'm out of school? Me personally, I'm working on things that people don't know about, or maybe they do know about, but have a creative project that you like to do. Whatever you like to do in school, do it at home. If that was writing scripts, do that in your free time. If you want to shoot some stuff, go do that. If you want to practice your announcing voices, do that. Like, record yourself, listen to yourself, perfect your craft, and it's gonna pay off in the end. So yeah, that's what I really had to say to you today.
Well, thank you for the advice.
Of course.
It's greatly appreciated, and I will take heed to all of it.
Okay. And that's I'm excited. I think this is going to be a wonderful thing for you. So right now, you can drop your social medias for the people who are listening so they can go follow you, watch you, support you, and all that good stuff.
Okay, my personal social media is at this is Instagram, by the way, KAY_ROB88, and my Kicking It with K-Rob page, or my visual podcast page, is KICKIN period IT period is it I think WITH period KAYROB Kicking It with K-Rob. Yeah, both of those are Instagram.
Yeah, so exactly what she said, and if you didn't catch that, it will be in the description box below, above. I don't really know. It just depends on what service you're using, but it will be in the description. So I just want to say thank you for coming onto the show today, Michaela. I really appreciate you and your perspective, honestly.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me.
Of course. So with that being said, we are out. Alrighty, everybody. So we have made it to the end of this episode. And if you enjoyed it, please subscribe to this podcast to be notified for future productions. As stated earlier, this was the season finale, and season 3 will be up and running in no time. I want to give a special thanks for those who continue to support me and my visions, and those who have come on the show thus far, and those to come. So for the last time for season 2, I'm Taisha, and I promise I won't bite my tongue.